What's up YouTube, Jeff back again, and today I'm coming at you guys with more coverage of the Galaxy S22 series. Now I've made a lot of videos lately about customization, icon packs, wallpapers, and all that stuff is great. By the way, as usual, before we kick off the video, this is the VRS Design crystal clear case. I'll drop the link below if anyone's interested. I mentioned this also in my last video. And if you guys are interested, the giveaway is still running for March. You can head to the link below. I'll throw it in the description. We're giving away a flagship device, $500 cash, and other great prizes. So if you guys are interested, you can join that from the Gleam link. Today I'm going to talk about 10 settings that you should change on your S22 or S22 Ultra. Mainly these are things that people just don't think to change that could in general improve their experience of the device. So as usual, I have my Google Keep document right here, so we can kind of just go through things. Now the first three settings, which are double tap to turn off the screen, lift to wake, and keep screen on while viewing, those are all things that you're going to find inside the display and gestures menu. So what we're going to do, just minimize this. We'll go down here, scroll down to where this says advanced features, motions and gestures, and then right here you'll find all those options. Now you might not want all of these, but I like to have some of them. I certainly like double tap to turn on and double tap to turn off, which means you can just double tap anywhere that's empty on the home screen to turn off. You do have to be a little careful if you have a lot of widgets like I do, because then you'll end up double tapping a widget, which will activate, the editing menu for the widget. Also lift to wake, which at the top, I leave this off, but if you use, I don't actually use facial recognition that much. I mainly just use the fingerprint sensor. That's a personal choice. There's nothing wrong with facial recognition. But if you have that on, if you have facial recognition, definitely want lift to wake. But double tap to turn off, I think, is a very useful one to have at the end of the day. And then the last one, which is one that I do like to have, is keep screen on while viewing. This is one I actually forgot to turn on myself when I got the phone. This basically keeps the screen on while you're looking at it. It uses the camera to detect when you're still looking at the device. So those are the first three. They're all in the same spot, inside motions and gestures, so really simple to do. The next one is to allow your device's home screen to rotate into landscape mode. This is kind of a weird one, but Samsung makes it now so that if you turn your device like this, it doesn't rotate into landscape mode by default, like mine does right here, which is what you would want to happen. I often use my phone in landscape mode, especially with my kickstand cases. I actually showed those off in the last video, the kickstand cases, to watch videos, but then, I want to have my apps also in landscape mode. So to turn that on, you can long press on the home screen, go down to settings, and then you'll find it down here, rotate to landscape mode. Now, at least on the unlocked model, which I have, this turned off by default, and I really have no idea why, because of course, if you're watching videos or something else in landscape mode, you're going to naturally want your phone to rotate to landscape mode as well, because having it in portrait while you're watching videos when you go to the home screen is not very utilitarian at all. So that's something I would change for sure. The next thing is to minimize the call pop-up menu. Now this is an interesting one because, getting phone calls isn't necessarily the thing we all use our phone for these days. It's not the primary purpose of using your device. You're using it for social media, pictures, etc. So, when you get a call, you may not like the fact that it has a huge pop-up. Sometimes back in the past, Samsung would have the whole entire phone turn into a call screen. You can change that inside the dialer if you go to your phone app, go to settings, and then go to where it says call display while using apps. And it's set now to small pop-up by default, at least on the unlock model that I have. But you can turn this to mini pop-up, which you guys can see in the preview is even smaller. And I actually like having the mini pop-up personally. And another feature I really like to turn on, this is just me personally because I don't like having that huge page menu there and I like to be able to move things around, is you can actually keep things in pop-up view once you answer the call. Of course, you have to expand it if you want to turn things on like speakerphone or take a call over Bluetooth with your watch or your headphones or something like that. But I find it to be pretty easy to manage and I like having the extra space on my screen. Next thing, the brightness bar above your notification shade always. Now this is a very, very useful one. If you look, when you swipe down your notification shade, you just see like the basic row of quick toggles, device control, media output. And then if you swipe down again, you've got your brightness slider, it's always at the bottom. Now, if you're like me and you're adjusting brightness relatively often, then you might want to have that actually up at the top. And you can do that by tapping here on the three dots menu, go to quick panel layout, and where it says brightness control, what you're going to do is tap on that and tap on show always. You can see it says show when quick panel is expanded. That's the default. Tap show always and then done. And then when you do that, when you swipe down, there's your brightness menu right there, very nicely, right above device control and media output. You can also remove the device control and media output if you want. I mean, that's another option that you could do from that menu, but I like to have those there as well. So that's a very useful one for me because I do control brightness quite a bit. Next thing is to edit those quick toggles. So there's a certain number of quick toggles, that come sort of standard. There's quite a few pages of them, but there are some that I use more than others, and I also like to kind of move these around to be the ones that I use the most. A couple of them, here's how you do it. First of all, if you want to add some, you just take the little plus sign here, and then you'll get options here at the top. So a couple of them that I added already, you guys can see, is extra dim and then processing speed. Extra dim is pretty obvious. I talked about the extra dim modes before. Processing speed improves the performance of your device at the cost of battery life and sometimes temperature. But some of the other ones I like to have access to is always on display. So I'll add always on display down there. You just have to, I didn't get a good grip on it. You touch and hold and drag it down there. Another one that I really like to have as well is the secure folder right here and Dolby Atmos. Those are ones I really enjoy using. So you can just add the ones that you find that you use the most, tap done, and then those will all be down here for you to use. Obviously, you can also delete some of those that you don't use by going to quick panel layout. Oops, sorry, quick panel layout, not quick panel layout. Go to edit buttons, and then you can also remove some of the ones that you don't want as well from doing that, is right that menu. Okay, so once you've done that, the next thing is another tip that I mentioned before, but I wanted to talk about this again because it's a pretty really useful one. By default, the side key is used to access Bixby, but that's not something I like to use it for. I would rather be the power menu, which has kind of been the default on Android for a while. So if you go to the top and you search for side key, it'll bring up the side key menu, which is right down here. And then you can go ahead and choose for this to do the power off menu instead of waking Bixby. And then another thing you can do is you can change the double press gesture so that it doesn't launch the camera, it opens a different app. Now I like to have the quick launch camera with the double press because since I have a kid, I obviously want to take a picture sometimes really quickly. That double camera press just makes it really easy for me to get right into the camera. But changing this to the power off menu when you press and hold, and now you can kind of see what it does, instead of going into Bixby, that's a super useful feature for me. The next one is turning on Find My Mobile. So you can do this by signing into your Samsung account. I always sign into a Samsung account when I get a new Samsung phone. And of course, once you sign into your Samsung account, it'll be in the accounts portion. Go to manage accounts, scroll down, find your Samsung account. And then from the Samsung account menu, you can go in here and go to my profile. There's my email. That's my YouTube contact email anyway. That's already on my channel there. You guys can see here some of the options that you have here. And then one of them at the very bottom here is Find My Mobile. So Find My Mobile then allows you to do remote unlock, send last location, and offline finding of your device. Someone steals your device, something like that. Obviously, then you can take control of the device remotely. And if someone finds it and you want to give them the chance to use it so that they can, I don't know, power it off or whatever you want to do to try to get them information to get in contact with you, you can do all these things remotely from within your Samsung account. So a very useful feature if you happen to lose your device or it gets stolen. The last one is a video brightness, which was formerly called video enhancer, I think, on Samsung phones in the past. So if you go into your settings here, and it's easy just to search for, again, this is another one that I just searched for. I actually searched for video enhancer because I thought that's what it was called from before, and I found out now it's video brightness. It's in advanced features again at the bottom, video brightness. You can actually change this. Now this is going to be contentious because I know I've been shooting my videos in HDR because I often use the iPhone, which shoots in HDR by default. I turned it off for this video, so let me know how people like it. Some people don't like the super bright playback on the phones or their tablet or whatever screen they're watching on, so you may not like this, but you have the option to turn on bright mode, which basically look more like an HDR style video in all of these apps, and kind of shows you all the ones that are compatible. You can choose to turn this either on or off. You can test it on some videos and test it on some of my videos and see if you decide that you like it. I'll leave it on and try it a little bit. I actually don't mind either one, but it's really up to you which one you enjoy on a daily basis. So anyway, guys, those are my 10 tips, settings that you should change. Again, some of these things are kind of preference. You don't have to enable all of them, but I find that doing a lot of these things makes it easier to use my device and also make my device a little more secure, especially with the Find My Mobile feature from Samsung. A lot of people don't know that they have a very similar Find My Mobile feature to Apple with Find My iPhone, but it's just less publicized out there with the Samsung devices. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification icon for future videos like this. You guys can find my case, my setup, all that kind of stuff in the links below. Also can join our giveaway if you want in the links below and in the pinned comment. I appreciate you guys checking out this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.